The sun dipped low over the Pacific, casting a golden glow across the beaches of Honolulu, where a young boy named Barack Hussein Obama chased dreams bigger than the waves. Born on August 4th, 1961, in the heart of Hawaii, Barack's story wasn't one of privilege or ease. It was a journey of grit, hope, and an unshakable belief that he could carve a path to change the world. His tale is a beacon for anyone who's ever felt like an outsider, faced impossible odds, or dared to dream beyond their circumstances. So, grab a seat, get comfortable, and let us dive into the life of a man who went from a kid with a fractured family to the 44th President of the United States. Proving that with courage and heart, anything is possible, Barack's world began with a blend of cultures that shaped him in ways he'd only later understand. His mother, Stanley Ann Dunham, a fiercely independent woman from Kansas, met his father, Barack Hussein Obama Sr., a brilliant student from Kenya, while both were studying in Hawaii. Their love was bold, but brief. Shortly after Barack's birth, his parents parted ways. His father returned to Kenya, leaving Ann to raise their son alone. For young Barack, this meant growing up with a father who existed more in letters than in life. Those letters, penned in careful script from across the globe, arrived sporadically, each one a treasure Barack held close. They were proof of a bond, however distant, and a reminder of a heritage he'd one day seek to understand. Ann was Barack's rock, a woman whose strength and curiosity lit the way. She worked tirelessly, often juggling jobs and studies, to give her son a life of opportunity. More than a mother, she was his first teacher, urging him to question the world, to read voraciously, and to believe that knowledge could unlock any door. "You can do anything," she'd tell him, her voice steady, even when times were tough. Her work ethic and love for learning became the foundation of Barack's ambition. Alongside Ann, his grandparents, Madeline and Stanley Dunham, stepped in to provide stability. His grandfather, a gruff but kind man who'd worked his way through life, and his grandmother, a nurturing soul who always put family first, gave Barack a sense of home. They weren't wealthy, but their love was a currency that never ran dry. Together, this patchwork family taught Barack that family isn't just blooded. The people who lift you up, who believe in you when you doubt yourself. Growing up in Hawaii, Barack's life was a kaleidoscope of cultures, but it wasn't always easy to find his place. With a Kenyan father and an American mother, he stood between two worlds, never fully fitting into either. At school, he was often the only black kid in the room, fielding curious stares and questions like, "Where are you really from?" These moments stung, planting seeds of doubt about where he belonged. Was he African enough? American enough? For years, he wrestled with his identity, feeling like an outsider in both the black and white communities. But instead of letting this divide define him, Barack chose to see it as a gift. His unique perspective, he realized, could bridge gaps, foster understanding gaps, and unite people who seemed worlds apart. This revelation became a guiding starlight, one he'd carry into every chapter of his life. School was where Barack's dreams took root. He wasn't a Strata student at first, but his mother's insistence on education pushed him to excel. He devoured books, debated ideas, and began to see a vision of learning as a ladder to his ambitions. After high school, he left the islands for Occidental College in California, a leap that felt both thrilling and a daunting leap. There, he encountered a broader world, students from every corner of the globe, each with stories that echoed and challenged his own. But the pressure to succeed weighed heavy. He felt knew he was carrying not just his own dreams, but those of his family too. Hungry for more, he transferred to Columbia University in New York City, diving deep into political science and soaking up the pulse of a city that never slept. It was here that Barack's sense of purpose sharpened. He saw poverty, inequality, and injustice up close firsthand, and a fire ignited within him to do more than just study the world. He wanted to change the world. After graduating, Barack made a choice that surprised many. Instead of chasing a high-paying corporate job, he moved to Chicago to work as a community organizer in the city's South Side. The neighborhoods he served were scarred by poverty, unemployment, and distrust. His job was to listen, to connect, and to help people find their collective power. It was grueling work-long hours, work endless skeptical nights, skeptical residents, and setbacks that tested his resolve. His father was distant. At first, many doubted this young outsider with big ideas. "What can do for a kid for us?" they'd ask, their voices laced with weariness. But Barack persisted, organizing meetings, advocating for better housing, and pushing for schools that gave kids a fair shot. Their connections slowly grew, trust grew. He helped communities win small victories, a new playground, a victory, safer street, and these wins fueled his belief in the power of that change starts with ordinary people coming together.
Chicago wasn't where Barack found his calling. It was where he found love. At a law firm where he met Michelle Barack, a young student lawyer, met Michelle Robinson, a brilliant, no-nonsense lawyer who wasn't easily impressed. Their connection was instant, a spark that grew into instant, a partnership of equals, built on shared values and dreams. Michelle, with her deep roots in the Chicago's working-class black community, grounded Barack's belief in himself, challenging him to stay true to his dreams. She faced for years. She became his confidant, his guide, anchor, and his eventually wife. Together, they'd navigate the highs and lows of a life dedicated to service for their love. Barack's time in Chicago laid the foundation groundwork for what was to come. In 1996, he ran for the Illinois State Senate, a long shot for a young black man who never dreamed of politics with no machine behind him. His campaign was grassroots, powered by door-to-door campaigning, knocking, and heartfelt conversations. He listened to their people's fears and hopes, promising a government that worked for them, not against them. Against all the odds, he won, stepping into a role where he could fight for better healthcare, education, and jobs. As a state senator, he reached across party lines, earning a reputation, respect for his ability to find common ground. But Barack's vision ambitions grew larger. He saw a bigger stage where he could make a greater impact. In 2004, a pivotal moment arrived. Barack was invited to speak at the Democratic National Convention. Nervous but determined, he took the stage and delivered a speech that electrified the nation ablaze. There's not a liberal America or a conservative America, there's the United States of America, he declared, his voice ringing with conviction. He spoke of unity, hope, and a shared dream where everyone had a chance to thrive. The crowd roared, and millions watching at home felt a spark of possibility. Overnight, Barack went from an obscure state senator to a national figure, leader who could inspire a generation. That same year, Barack ran for the U.S. Senate, campaigning with the same passion that had carried him to victory in Illinois. His message of hope and change struck a chord, resonated, and he won in a landslide. In Washington, he tackled big issues: healthcare reform, veterans' rights, and ending the Iraq War, while always staying true to his belief that progress comes from working together, collaboration. But the Senate was just a stepping stone. By 2007, whispers grew that Barack could aim higher. Could he really run for president? Doubts swirled. He was young, black, and relatively inexperienced, facing off against giants, heavyweights like Hillary Clinton. But Barack believed in the power of people to demand change. His 2008 presidential campaign was a movement unlike any other. He crisscrossed the country, speaking to packed crowds in small towns and big cities. His speeches, laced with poetry and purpose, stirred souls. "Yes, we can," became a rallying cry, a mantra for those tired of broken promises. Volunteers poured and flooded his campaign, old, young, and old, black and white, all united by a vision of a better America. Despite fierce competition and moments of doubt, Barack clinched the Democratic nomination. On November 4, 2008, history was made. Barack Obama became the first black president of the United States, standing in Chicago's Grant Park to deliver a victory speech that moved the world. "Change has come to America," he said. His words a promise to a nation hungry for hope. Taking office on January 20th, 2009, Barack faced a nation in turmoil crisis. The Great Recession had shattered lives, with millions jobless and homes lost. Wars in Iraq and Afghanistan raged on, and healthcare costs crushed families. The weight of expectations was crushing immense. But Barack rolled up his sleeves. He passed the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act to jumpstart the economy, saving jobs and sparking growth. His biggest, boldest fight was for the Affordable Care Act, a law that gave millions access to health care. Critics called it impossible, but after heated debates, it passed, changing lives forever. Abroad, he worked to end wars responsibly, brokered the Iran nuclear deal, and, in 2011, authorized the mission that killed Osama bin Laden, bringing justice for 9/11s. Barack's second term, beginning in 2013, brought fresh new challenges. A government shutdown tested his resolve, but he stood firm for his principles. He pushed for climate action, helping secure the Paris Agreement in 2015. Division grew, with racial tensions flaring and political gridlock deepening. Barack spoke candidly about race, calling for unity after tragedies like the Charleston church shooting, where he sang Amazing Grace in a eulogy that touched souls worldwide. As his presidency neared its end, the rise of Donald Trump signaled a stark shift. But Barack urged Americans to stay engaged, to keep fighting for progress. When Barack left office in 2017, his work didn't stop. He launched the Obama Foundation, empowering young leaders to tackle global challenges. His memoir, A Promised Land, shared raw reflections on his presidency, his faith, and his love for Michelle, who'd become a global icon advocating for education and health. Barack's post-presidency speeches, like his 2018 address in South Africa, warned against division and championed democracy. His faith, rooted in compassion, continued to guide him, urging people to see the humanity in one another. Barack Obama's story isn't just about politics, it's about what it means to dream big, to rise above doubt, and to lead with heart. From a boy in Hawaii to a world leader, he showed that change starts with belief. His life challenges us to act, to bridge divides, and to never stop pushing for a better world. So, what's your next step? The world's waiting for your voice, your courage, your change.